Today, I want to tell you about one upgrade I did, uno, that has made more of a difference than any other upgrade I've done on this bike. And you may be thinking, oh, this is clickbait. Well, I had to get you here somehow, but I promise it's clickbait with a payoff. I can assure you of that. Now, I'm enjoying the beautiful weather here in South Carolina. And this is just, you know, what, a month before hell literally rises up and grips the balls of the South. And it's like that every year. It gets hot. But today is absolutely beautiful. I actually got a jacket on and everything. My goodness. So I want to tell you what's so special about this upgrade. And what I'm talking about are these bars. But they're not just your run-of-the-mill bars, okay? They got one big feature, which is the only reason that I'm running a 14-inch setup. Now I'm 5'7", and I'm gonna steal Jerry Palladino's thing because I just like it. I'm identifying as 6 foot. He identifies as 6'2", so I'm not gonna steal the whole thing, but regardless, you can identify as whatever you want these days. I'm identifying as 6 foot, 5'7" on my license. And so this is my first bar install. I walked y'all through it, told you the mistakes I made, all of that. And then we took a little bit shorter ride. I think we did probably 150 miles, roughly. And so I wanted to get a good test of how these did on the road. How much more comfortable are they? Now, there's a whole host of different bars that you can get. You can get them from Harley, you can get them from so many different companies. And most of the time what you'll find is it's one single piece. Well, these are not like that. Because if they were like that, I don't think I'd be putting some kind of, you know, crazy good review, because I'm just too short to utilize something like that. Now, these are 14s, and so up to a 2020, you don't have to do any extensions. 21 to 23, you do, right? After my trip to Tennessee, I was talking to a friend of a friend who we actually rode with, and he had not these bars, but he had 14-inch bars. And he's like, hey, look, you know, I know you're having back issues and all this kind of stuff. Well, if you have any pain in between your shoulder blades, that it could be the bars. You know, the stock ones, I believe the stock ones on a special or a regular road glide are 9 inches. On the limited, they're 11 inches. So they're gonna come, you know, they're about right here. But still, you know, doing the little bit of, you know, the around town stuff, you know, occasionally I'd go 150 miles, you know, to Myrtle Beach or something like that, you know. That's all I really had experience with on those stock bars. It wasn't much at all. And so I thought, man, this bike is comfortable, you know. And then after 1,400 miles, and I think it was a total of 5 days, I realized, man, he might be onto something. And so I immediately reached out to KST. I was like, hey, look, this is who I am. You know, can we do some work together? Because my buddy recommended these to me specifically for that one feature that they have. Now, the reason I don't think these would have been comfortable otherwise if it was just one bar is because it puts me, even if I were to bring them back, it's just too wide. But the base clamp, which you'll see right here, has 2 bolts on each side. So once you get this flush, the bars flush with the base clamp, then you put them on the bike, you hook up your connections, you tighten up the riser. Now you can pull the bars in towards you. So you'll notice when I first had them on there, I'm trying to replicate what it would have been. My hands probably would have been like, I'm just gonna like hold them here just so you get an idea. But they would have been obviously, you know, a little bit lower, or, you know, yeah, a little bit lower than that. But you get the idea. It would have been more like right here, and then of course I could have rolled them back. Well, since I can move these in towards me, I have never felt more comfortable on a motorcycle than I have right now. So if you pay attention to my arms, totally relaxed. I tried doing some low speed stuff because I was like, well, maybe this is more challenging. Granted, I'm not doing 18-foot U-turns yet, but I will be there. But I still found it easier to turn the bars because of the position that these are in. I find that the seating position is much better. Now, I did add something else here that I'm gonna do a video on very soon that helped with the comfort aspect. But as far as the way the bike steers and my seating position, this thing is absolutely, these bars are incredible. Dummies. So we're gonna walk into Allied Arms here, do some videos for the gun channel, and I'll be back with y'all in just a minute. Alrighty. So to me, this is the biggest advantage with these bars, and the ability to pull those in. Now, of course, in my install video, I talked about some of the things that you want to, you know, try to avoid when you install these bars. And it's not a hard job at all. I mean, it's really not. The hardest part is, you know, getting your wire in through this side specifically, but it's a fairly easy install. If you follow that video that I laid out, I'm gonna tell you the mistakes that I made, so hopefully you won't make the same ones. All in all though, not only has this been just a super comfortable upgrade, I mean, so much more comfortable. You know, like I said, I thought I was upright before, but now even more so. Now, to me, that is the best part about this upgrade. But another thing you're gonna get with this is the aesthetic upgrade. It just looks meaner from the front, from the side, all the way around. The meat hooks right here, they look freaking awesome, dude. All right, so we just left Allied Arms. It's becoming somewhat of a weekly tradition almost. By the way, I review guns as well, so if you're interested in that, Heckshot 87 is the name of that channel. But overall, you know, the most important part is the comfort. You know, like I said, man, I thought I was sitting upright before I did this, and that trip to Tennessee taught me a lot. Ooh, thank you for stopping. I'm really surprised they stopped, actually. But I just realized, you know, how much I was, you know, not really leaning forward. That's not the right way to say it, but kind of hanging on, you know. I mean, those stock bars being 9 inches, you're kind of down here, and so again, this review of these bars, there's no way I would have felt as good about them if they didn't turn in. So if you're vertically challenged like I am, and you want the ability to still maneuver your bike, you know, especially at low speeds, this to me is the way to go. This is the only way to go, you know, because again, you can pull those things in. Now, when I did the install, I actually show you mistakes that I make throughout as well, so hopefully you can avoid those things, right? And so pulling these things in, setting them up for you is one of the, if not the best thing about this specific upgrade. Plus, you get an aesthetic upgrade as well, from the front, the side, the back. I mean, it just looks way better than the stock setup. And most of the bars that I've seen that people do, it does make it look better, but that doesn't mean that it's functionally better. And so this offers the functionality to set it up for you and the aesthetic upgrade as well. And so overall, I'm super happy. I think they say, you know, after about 700 miles, 750 miles, you know, double check, make sure that the bolts are still torqued to spec and all that good stuff. And, you know, that's something that you definitely want to do. But all in all, the install, not too hard at all. And again, if you follow that video where I show you how to install these, you can avoid some of those mistakes as well. When it comes to single upgrades that I've done on my Harley, this by far is one of the best, if not the best upgrades so far that I've done on this bike. I think, you know, they're like 435 bucks. To me, that's one of the best upgrades you can do for the money, especially if you're having any kind of pain in between your shoulder blades, or you just want a more comfortable position and you don't want to sacrifice the maneuverability of your motorcycle. So there you go, man. Anybody that has KST bars, or you've used them in the past, or you have them on your bike now, let me know what you think about yours down in the comments below. Big thanks again to those guys for sending these out so I could tell you what I like about them and how they've been working so far. See you on the next one, and as always, hold them down.